I did not go to school for 4 years and build a platform to be talked to like this. So I will be walking away from the microphone right now, and I would encourage you to get your guest under control. I'm going to take 2 minutes so you can ask him questions if you'd like, and I will be right back.
Because you run the show?
I just won't be back. And we already
I don't give a shit. What do I care? I'm here to have a debate, not listen to your whining. Do you want to have a debate or not?
All right. I'm not going to be talked to like this.
Well,
so
do you want to just take a little 2-minute breather? You want to take?
Andrew Wilson triggers this feminist brat, forcing her to flee in this heated debate as Andrew Wilson takes on this feminist who completely loses it when Andrew starts rebuking her and totally goes off on an ego trip and ends up running away because this strong, independent woman don't need no man. Let's get in.
And I hope to debunk some of the myths that people think about feminists today and show that it is a very important cause, not just globally, but in the US and in the West. Thank you.
All right, Kylie, thank you very much for your opening statement. Andrew, if you'd like to give yours now.
Yeah, just a second. Let me back up here. There's one thing I wanted to address right in my opening. I've been going through Kylie's videos, and she knows so much which is not so. This is a big bait and switch. This happens often. I think I pointed this out to the Whatever podcast many times, especially when it comes to sociology and psychology, how often they are wrong, and here's how they're wrong most often. What they do is they take studies which are recently published, they point to those data sets and say, because this is right now the most current data set we have, it's true, and then operate as though those things are in reality true when they're not. Kinsey says, for instance, on gender quotas, according to, and she cites this, and many feminists cite this.
My name is, are you talking about?
The Kinsey study.
Oh, the Kinsey study.
Yeah, the Kinsey study, which you cite, right? And most feminists cite the Kinsey study, has been debunked for years. I don't know why
Which
feminists
study is
continue.
this?
Hang on.
Wait,
it's my opening statement.
You'll have a chance to
Yeah.
cross-examine him. Just allow him to
So
finish his
let me
opening
walk you
statement.
through this. Earlier this week, journalist Christopher Brunette flagged a paper in a March 2024 issue of Econ Journal Watch, a biannual publication edited by George Mason economist Daniel Klein, that publishes articles, links, responses to other economist errors. The paper, written by accounting professor Jeremiah Green of Texas A&M and John R.M. Hand of the University of North Carolina, addressed the first of 3 McKenzie 4-installment series of diversity studies. Green and Hand sought to test the replicability of McKenzie's findings. Guess what they found, guys? Could another set of researchers using the same data come to the same conclusions? Since McKenzie refused to turn over its numbers, Green and Hand had to reverse engineer the firm's 2015, 18, and 20 data sets. The results were startling. Green and Hand couldn't replicate the results of McKenzie's first 3 studies, which monitored the profitability of the executive demographics of an undisclosed group of S&P 500 firms claiming to have found a positive correlation between diverse leadership and the firm's performance. We do not find a statistical significant positive correlation between McKenzie's measures of the racial ethnic diversity of executive terms of firms as measured in December 2019, Green and Hand reported, and either the likelihood of financial outperformance in 15-19. So to give you a quick summary, the study seems to show its most likely correlation and not causation, meaning companies were already doing very financially well, and they have the luxury to mess around with diversity quotas and initiatives. In addition, the data from the 2024 paper was unable to replicate any of the older McKinsey studies, any of them. That should tell you something. So that's a very recent data set, right? Why don't any of the psychologists ever go with the recent data set? Well, the reason they don't go with it is because it doesn't affirm their nonsensical worldviews. That's why they don't go with them, ever. You'll find this very common in sociology and in psychology, which suffer from the replication crisis. Somewhere around 60% of their findings cannot be replicated, are not to be trusted. Psychology is the study of the mind. The scientific views of psychology are only done through data collection, but it has to be interpreted. This is a major, major problem. So many feminists will tell you so many studies, and luckily I have all of the ones to refute all of my opponent's studies today. Because what happens is they have a biased worldview and they want the data set to correlate with the worldview rather than wanting to tell you what the actual truth is. The truth is that a bunch of S&P 500 companies who are very rich were already doing really well. And for the purposes of publicity, they decided that they were going to start doing a bunch of DEI hires and ethnic hires and this type of thing. And they decided that the correlation, they made the correlation causation error. That's it. You'll find this over and over again, I'm sure, as we go through this debate, as we go through the numbers, especially when it comes to the abuse of women, especially when it comes to just how useful women are. We talk about domesticated labor. What a joke. You believe that women should be paid some type of domestic wage. However, it's skilled labor in the home, which keeps the home running. It's always going to be paid way more than domestic labor because it's more worthwhile than domestic labor. Simple. So with that, I'll finish my opening statement. I can't wait to dive right into this.
Okay, so Kylie, it sounded like you maybe had some pushback you wanted to give on something Andrew said there.
Yeah, so I very briefly referenced the McKenzie study, and McKenzie & Company's Women in the Workplace study, by the way, is what he's referring to. But it's actually, if you go and look it up, it's generally considered accurate and comprehensive in its findings. So I have quite literally no idea what my opponent is talking about, as well as the fact that this is a red herring fallacy of just, oh, this is wrong and my opponent is wrong for the following reasons.
How's that a red herring?
Because you're not actually acknowledging any of the information that I said.
I refuted the information.
I didn't even hardly talk about that.
I have refutations to your video. Okay. I have your video right here. And you start by saying the largest comprehensive study, the Kinsey study.
Which one are you talking about?
I'll play it for you. Give me a second here.
Okay. Well, I think we should stick to what we're talking about today.
We're talking about all of this today. So
well, I would like you to be less hostile to me, first of all, because I think we should just have a general discussion.
Stop whining. We're doing a debate.
Stop whining.
So,
if you're going to argue for feminism that, women are so independent and so powerful, well, guess what? Men have to be able to sit in a room and be able to talk smack and endure and, all that crap. So if you're going to be a strong feminist, you better be able to endure the same shit, whether you like it or not. All right? Like, how are you going to sit there and say, I'm powerful and all this and can do it on my own? Oh, but watch your tone. It offends me. Like, sweetheart, that's not how the real world works. No one's going to care. So you got to step your game up. And I find it so amusing that she accused Andrew Wilson of a red herring when he provided a list of counter evidence directly to her point, but then after calling his argument a red herring, she just goes on and to say the McKenzie study or the Kinsey study is generally accepted. So I don't know what Andrew Wilson's talking about. Like, she's the one who did the red herring, not Andrew Wilson. It's like he gave specific information saying this is wrong on so many different levels. It's BS. And then, gave the logical reason that all these companies, they just did this to make themselves look good. They did it. They essentially did it for ratings. That's it. Because at the end of the day, only the companies that have a crap ton of money can afford DEI hires. Everyone else, they don't have that luxury. So they just blew a bunch of money and that's it. But there's no real evidence to show that any of this makes anything better. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, go over to the membership page to find out more. And let's get back in.
I'm not going to give you the reaction that I know you're looking for.
Yeah. So women are better leaders than most? Do you agree?
Yes. I was looking at that video, yeah. That's like one of the ones that...
And you cite which study?
Oh, yeah, the one that I'm talking about now. But I didn't reference that in my opening at all. So I think the people in the audience, if they had any sort of common sense following along, they'd be like, what is he talking about? Kylie didn't mention that, which I didn't.
But the thing is like, this is a current core part of your worldview and belief, and you make propaganda videos about it, even though it's completely uninformed.
That women are better leaders. I think that is a subjective opinion. None of the statistics and facts that I gave previously are objective opinions, like the fact that women didn't have the right to vote until 1920. Women couldn't open a bank account in the United States until 1974.
When did men get the right to vote?
Oh, okay, I know this is exactly what you were talking about. This is what you're known for, is like getting people on a technicality that we don't historically know. But the answer to that is no. The answer to that
the answer is that's no?
No, the answer to that is the fact that in 1920, everyone was given the right to vote, but there were still barriers to vote for people of color.
When did men get the right to vote?
The right to vote was guaranteed to all people in 1920, according to the 19th Amendment.
Before 1920, were all men allowed to vote?
No.
Okay, great.
They weren't.
And then even when men's suffrage was passed...
Because of white supremacy and because our system was not founded equally.
Are you aware that men only got any rights to vote about a decade, roughly, before women?
That is not true. Men have been making, the founding fathers were all men, so I have no idea what you're talking
Well, what
about.
does that have to do with the right to vote?
The right to vote was historically withheld from men of color. It was a white.
It was also withheld from
Listen to
the
me.
general population.
Do not cut me off. Do not cut me off. I am in the middle of speaking.
I don't care if you're in the middle of speaking. You're in the middle of a debate.
The right to vote.
You don't have your TikTok mute button, sweetheart?
I will
we
not
can-
be speaking anymore until you have a conversation with him.
Well, look,
Mute button.
if we can, for both people, if we can allow each other to finish, even if you want to jump in, just let the other person finish speaking. If somebody's going on a monologue and they're filibustering, I'll try to get them to wrap up. But just if they're making a point, just try to let them finish.
No, I did not go to school for 4 years and build a platform to be talked to like this. So I will be walking away from the microphone right now, and I would encourage you to get your guest under control. I'm going to take 2 minutes so you can ask him questions if you'd like, and I will be right back.
Because you run the show?
I just won't be back. And we already
I don't give a shit. What do I care? I'm here to have a debate, not listen to your whining. Do you want to have a debate or not?
All right, I'm not going to be talked to like this.
Well,
so.
do you want to just take a little 2-minute breather? You want to take a 2-minute breather?
This is feminism? You're the strong woman? You're the strong woman? Really? Whew, strong woman. I will not be talked to. Like what? What did I even say?
I would.
I will not be talked to like that. Yeah, you will. What are you talking about? It's a debate.
Maybe we can try to stick to.
There's been some really strong feminist women in that chair who have debated with me, just not this one.
Yeah, let me know down below if you thought Andrew Wilson, really said anything that bad. Like, as soon as he started to come back with his rebuttal, which she also has, talked over him during the same debate. So she's done exactly the same thing. And as soon as he comes back rebuking her, she instantly, goes on a power trip. Just tries to shut him down the whole way and then starts to go on to shaming him. It's like she just absolutely got set off that the fact that she knows her argument is being disproved and that he just shredded her entire opening. Like, this woman is triggered as all hell. And you're going to be the one to make the argument that women are strong leaders. You literally got your feelings hurt because of another guy's tone or him interrupting you, and you ran away. You ran away from the fight, and that's all it took. He didn't even have to break a sweat. He didn't even have to get out of the chair. It was that simple. Strong leader? What a joke. But folks, thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you thought about what Andrew Wilson had to say, forcing this feminist to flee and run after getting triggered in this clip. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.